Hey guys, weird intro. I'm just, living in this desert. It gets so hot. I've been getting distracted. But anyway, let me not let the heat distract me. It's not that hot. It's getting cool. But anyway, this is one of my Book of Shadow vlogs. I'm not sure I'm gonna add my last video to my Book of Shadows part 10. I'm not sure, but let's just say this one is part 10 for right now. So I'm kind of been a little ecstatic, is that the right word? Because everybody has been putting up this hype for Friday the 13th, and also it being the full moon on Friday the 13th. And I was also born on the 13th of May, and I just could imagine how many full moons I don't know, maybe I didn't miss a full moon on my birthday. And I could just imagine how powerful it could have been on my birthday. I mean, maybe it doesn't matter, but it's a special day to me, clearly. Anyway, so I just wanted to talk about Friday the 13th and the full moon. I don't want to ramble on about, stupid shit right now. This is what happens when, like I said, day in the life of a loner, like my last video. So, anyway, let's talk about the full moon and how I've been experiencing it, or how other people have been telling me about it. Shout out to those amazing people that I've met on here that have really taught me a lot about the deeper knowledge. So anyway, the full moon, it is the moon or in my book I'm reading right now, it also can mean your heart's desires. And so the energy of the full moon is about going for if I pronounce this wrong, excuse me if I pronounce this wrong, but it says the energy of the full moon is about going for the gusto. It's Gusto. And okay. Anyway, next sentence. The time of the full moon is good for calling in what you really want, be it money, love, peace, or what have you. The energy of the full moon enhances your own magical flow. Spells you do under the full moon's glow are especially powerful. This is a time to seek visions and wisdom through divination, scrying, or just being open to the voice of the goddess. Whoever you believe in, God, goddess, spirit, source, just the universe as a consciousness, the universe being alive. Of course I believe in the goddess, I believe in the universe, I believe in all of that. I might not be like believing in multiple religions, but I do have a ominous mindset. So I can see truth in all religions, but I would say out of all the religions, I've always kind of been more intuitively connected to, for what it seems like. Definitely I would say like Wicca. I have a little bit, I'm not necessarily Wiccan, but I have some Wiccan traits. So anyway, let me not get sidetracked. As you can get in tune with the goddess as you meditate. The full moon energy is available 3 days before the actual full moon and 3 days after. So I guess a lot of people are getting excited because number one, it's the full moon. A lot of people get excited for the full moon, and a lot of people like to manifest. And I've been working, I kind of took I took a week to do this ritual for, a few days during one of those weeks when I started this ritual spell. And I kind of let it just sit on its own, but I don't know if I'm just the only one that's like this. Sometimes I like to like when I have my grimoire or my Book of Shadows, I just write those spells or those rituals or those prayers. that I try to use to manifest, not just through like material things all the time or like money, but like whether it's just healing, like whether like, like let's say you have a cold or something and you want to like make your mind not think about like being sick all the time. You want to have like some sort of manifestation spell or prayer that can help you guide you to having a better mindset on having a stronger immune system, or maybe a broken heart, or whatever it may be, maybe trust in the universe. The list can go on. This is just me. I noticed that my spells work very powerful when I do, shamanic practices and some healing work. I've always seen some kind of like, I wouldn't say like, of course I'm not a doctor, but like, somebody did call me a witch doctor one time, but like, no, really though, because I was always, when I was in the shamanic journey, I was definitely working with like healing magic and all that kind of stuff. But just like any other spell, you gotta do like, or prayer, prayer, manifestation, law of attraction, or whatever they may say it. You still have to use like universal law, and so you still have to use like a balance of the spiritual realm and also the physical realm. And I tend to get in my stubborn moments where I don't want to do certain things, but this is where I just want to like change my mindset. So I guess I just got a little excited to do this, quote unquote whatever ritual. So anyway, the whole point is that I did this health and wealth spell. I did it with this candle right here, and I actually got some powerful responses from the universe as soon as I started to work with this ritual, my health and wealth spell. So pretty much it's like, I want to be stable through my health and my wealth. Not saying like filthy rich, but like as a young woman, or a woman in her 20s, I'm you can say I'm the ideal version of a single woman who doesn't have like, I have my family, and me and my family support each other, but like, eventually I'm gonna try to, I would love to. My whole purpose of that candle was to, spread my wings in every way, not just physically, but like spiritually, like have a different mindset, kind of like being that phoenix rising from the ashes type of mindset. It's kind of like dark now, so because the moon, the sun is setting, so let me try to do this anyway. I'm being clumsy. I should have done this. I should have recorded this like when the sun was still out. I like the lighting when the sun is still out, like it's so much prettier. But you know what, I'm just gonna record for the sake of this video. So yeah, that was my whole point, was to be stable financially and health-wise, and because they say health is wealth. So I'm really just trying to, not trying, but I really am forcing myself to think that way. And that's the whole purpose of that spell. So, I kind of, sometimes, unfortunately, we live in a world where there's people, like in my last video, like I said, there's beings who know, like they watch, they're aware spiritually of you, and they know, like, if you're like one of those people that are gonna try to do things like that. And sometimes I think in my head, like, there's beings in the spirit realm and etc., etc., what you want to call it, whatever you may call it, and, I have to realign myself again, and this is why I did this video, so that I can realign myself again, and, because they, tend to distract me, and I know that they say in ritual, you can't always have the old mindset. Like, how do you expect the difference if you are not trying to change it? And that's, the whole point of ritual, from what, do all my research. But so yeah, anyway, let me stop rambling. Let's just keep going. Today is also the full moon in Pisces from what I've done my research on, and a lot of people are trying to do, from, you know, maybe I'll just, I don't know, I'm gonna redo my ritual again, you know, because it's also, people say that the full moon, this is the time to release any energy that you have. And before I just say I'm over this, you know, consistently forcing myself to repeat myself with my rituals, my older my older ritual, not older ritual, but the ritual that I was just talking about. I just want to release it into the full moon, into the moon today. I'm rambling, I know, but it's just hot, and I'm like, the lighting is not the best right now, so yeah. Anyway, I'll be. You know, I'm kind of like a hippie goth, so like, you know, one minute I'm dressed like a hippie, and then the next minute I'm dressed like all in black, you know, super hippie. Then one minute super goth. So like, I tend to walk around barefoot and all that. It's a habit. And I live in nature, so if you see my bare feet, you know, that's just because I'm always walking like that sometimes. Anyway, so 13th day, Friday the 13th, and the full moon. Let's see what else they have to say about this before I close this off. I don't want to be too long. Um, uh, okay, Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th, the number 13 has magical properties in many civilizations, and not always in a bad context. For example, in France, the number 13 was a prediction of a better future. And so, you know, and then combined with the full moon, bringing it all together, like with all magic, intent was one of the most powerful ingredients of your spell, or manifestations or prayers, when whatever you do under the full moon. And you can cast a good fortune spell on a full moon on a Friday the 13th, following the French belief of the lucky day, which is, some people consider this the lucky day. And since I was born on the 13th, I don't consider it a bad number, because, of course, your birthday should be your lucky day. You know, that's the day you should celebrate it. But, yeah. And the energy is also Pisces in the full moon. So this is from my Moonology deck, which is also a great manifestation. Well, great manifestation, but it's also a good whatchamacallit. If you want to know about the moon phases, I would suggest getting the Moonology book by Yasmin Boland. So I'm gonna not read too much here. I'm just gonna give you an idea. So it says, in tune with the moon, and meditate every day on what you see, and what you see comes to you, and answers will come. Additional meanings for this card: you're in a super romantic but not super realistic state. It could also mean follow your intuition. It won't let you down at your worst. This card can herald the end of a dream. The person you inquire is a soulmate, you know. So I really, well, okay, so this is more about like maybe personal issues, but let's see. The Pisces in the full moon. Pisces is the zodiac, so Pisces is the last zodiac. So the full moon in Pisces symbolically marks endings. When the full moon in Pisces, or whenever you pull this card, or you know, just the energy, it's a time to dive deep into your emotions, and practically is at odds with the numerous Piscean energies that have no borders. So feel your way now. Psychic ability is heightened when the full moon is in Pisces. So, you know, maybe a good time for romance. you know, just love being artistic, you know, listening to music or making music, just being an artist in this type of energy as well. But, you know, let's see, you know, really in tune with your intuition on the Pisces and full moon. Yeah, but sorry I sound like so weird right now. I'm just kind of like, I'm like the book kind of confused me a little bit because I was reading it in a different perspective, and it was like talking about a person, which I was trying to get the energy. But I think you guys, I think you kind of get the drift of what it's trying to say. You know, that Pisces energy and the full moon energy is all about intuition, being artistic. You know, probably maybe even believing in your dreams, manifesting your dreams, and especially if you're an artistic person. You know, because I always say in some of my videos, creation is a magical act. So, you know, I think this is a great energy for that as well. And just for the full moon, you know, manifestations and or releasing or your spells. They say your spells can also be stronger in this time of day, time of night. Okay, and also tomorrow. It's also tomorrow from what I heard. Anyway, yeah. Blessed be, God bless, whatever you believe in. I kind of took too long anyway, but yeah, this is just my book of shadows, number 10, and yeah, I'll let you know what goes down later on.